to a very special extra tutorial I made for you all. So a little while ago I met a super lovely and very young American girl on YouTube called Brielle, also known as Basketballooms. Now she is only 11 years old and probably the youngest designer I have made a tutorial for, but she started looming last year and she is super talented, and she asked me to make a tutorial for her tiny mini gummy bear for her. Now, she saw my little chickie and thought that I could pull it off, and I gotta say, I was doubtful at first because, as you know, I'm not a Loomigurumi expert at all. I just dabble a bit for the extra tutorials that I do on special occasions, but hey, I am going to give it my very best shot, and as you can see, it is a very forgiving design. It is just very tiny and a little bit finicky, but it's really easy to make, and it just looks cute no matter what you do. Yeah, and as always, I am going to go slow and steady, so just follow along with me. And of course, I will post a pattern in the description box below again as well if you want to work from that. Now, Basketballooms is not on any of the socials because of her young age, but she is on YouTube, as I mentioned, and she posts some really fun content there on her own channel. So I'll put a link to that in the box below as well, okay? So give her a follow over there for me, please. Now, stay tuned till the end of this video because I will tell you all the tags and everything you can use when you post your bears so that we can see them too, and I can share them with her. And I will also tell you how you can contact me if you want me to make a tutorial for one of your own designs. And also, I am sorry, I am still sniffling, even more so as usual. I'm still fighting off the remnants of a cold, so yeah, there is that. Okay, I am going to need to grab some candy first now, and then we'll grab some stuff, and let's get looming. To make our little gummy bears, we will need our hook, of course, and for Loomigurumi designs, you can usually just use your regular hook or a crochet hook, whatever hook that you prefer. I am sticking to my Loom hook, however, because I really love using that, and especially for hook onlys and Loomigurumi, it's really easy to work with. You will need something you can use to mark certain stitches that you can quickly put on a band and pull off a band. So a stitch marker, like what I like to use, or a C-clip, an easy clip. You can even use a paper clip, a bobby pin, a hair clip, anything that you can use to keep count of where we are in the pattern, okay? And of course, we're going to need some bands. It's not a lot of bands because it's so tiny, and I'm going for orange today. I don't know why, I felt like orange, okay? I chose to go with regular bands, by the way, because although I feel like gummy bears need to be made with jelly bands, those bands are very slippery and harder to work with for me. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I chose to do it with the regular opaques, okay? Now, of course, you can just choose whatever colors and bands that you want to, and you can even use multiple colors, of course. Just go crazy with the gummy bears. And if you want to stuff your bear, you can do that too, of course. I didn't do it for mine because I feel like the bears keep their shape pretty well, and the fluff just doesn't taste as good. Anyway, please remember that you can always pause the video to catch up, rewind to watch something again, and of course you can always speed up if I'm going too slow for you. I will be skipping through or fast forwarding through the repetitive or boring parts, okay? So just tap pause when that happens until you're caught up. And of course I will put the timestamps in my video again too, so you can jump to certain parts really quickly by clicking the timestamps or the chapters below. Okay, let's make a gummy bear. Okay, now I'm going to start by explaining something to you and give you a choice, because all four the paws and the nose will be sewn into the bear later, after we make the body and the head, which are made of one piece, and the ears we will add on later too, okay? But the paws and nose we can prepare beforehand if you want to, and the way to do that is to make 5 of these things. Right? This is what actually makes up the nose and the paws of the bear. So how you make these, if you want to prepare them beforehand, is you grab 2 bands, you twist them around your hook 4 times, as if you're making a quadruple cap band. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, and 4, like that. Then you grab another one of your bands, and you're going to pull that cap band, that little clump of bands, all on that band that you have on your hook. Now, sometimes it pops off with me, so let me see if I can get it right. First time, there we go, like that. Make sure that you pull the clump of bands a little bit to the middle of your band so it doesn't pop off when you take your hook out, right? Which absolutely will happen, so you will have to start over again sometimes because the cap band will just unravel. But so you can make 5 of these before we start if you want to. Otherwise, I'm going to show you just how we are going to sew these into the bear later, because that's really easy too, because we're just going to pick up 2 loops and then do the whole process, right, with the bear on our hook. So make our quadruple cap band, and then we're going to pull the band all the way through, or otherwise I'm going to show you how we can do it like this with your prepared loops, with your prepared paws and nose. Okay? Okay, so as I said, we're going to make our bear first, the head and the body, all in one go. That's all one piece, okay? We're going to start at the head and then work our way up. So to get started, grab yourself a whole pile of your gummy bear colored bands and a marker, stitch marker, clip, whatever you have to mark where we are in the pattern, okay? We are going to make a, that band just went somewhere out of nowhere. We're going to start by making a triple cap band first. So that means that you're not going to do a normal cap band by going around once, but you're going to go around one extra time. So you have 3 loops on your hook. See? Now I am going to use my stitch marker to keep these 3 loops together. That just works easier for me, but feel free to do the same. A paper clip will work easy in this case, I think, or just if you're more handy as I am with C-clips, just put your C-clip on. Okay, so we have a triple cap band and we're going to make a magic ring, as it is called, of 4 stitches. So it is a little bit tight, but you're going to grab one of your gummy bear colored bands, pull it through all the loops of the cap band and just make your first stitch. Pull the front end through the back end. There we have our first stitch. Go into those 3 loops of the cap band the same way as you made this stitch, from the same way, there. And we're going to make another stitch. And then sew both stitches, whoops, don't lose it. Sew both stitches together, of course. So we have 2 stitches, we're going to do this 2 more times. Go in to the cap band, same way as we did before. Make your stitch and sew them together. And then your last one, go into the cap band from the same way as we did before. And sew them together. And we have 4 stitches now. 1, 2, 3, and the 4th one is here. And as you know, to finish off a round of stitches, you always make your last stitch in the first stitch of the previous round. That stitch doesn't count for this round, but that's the first stitch for the next round. You always do that. That closes off a round of stitches. Okay, so let's unclip our stitch marker, and you always put your marker, your clip, your stitch marker, whatever you have, your paper clip, bobby pin, whatever, always put it on that last stitch, so the first stitch for the next round. Okay, so now it is very tight, as I said. It's a finicky, mini tiny little design, so sometimes you have to help it a bit and open it up a little bit so you can see what you're doing. So we have 4 stitches right now, right? We have the one on our hook, this one that's on this stitch here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, what we're going to do is increase all these stitches. So that means that each individual stitch of the 4 gets 2 stitches in it. So we already have 1 in our first one. So I'm going to put a body next to it right here. That is 2 in that stitch, and the next stitch also gets 2 stitches in them, and so forth until the 4th stitch. Okay, let's do that. And the last one. like that. And then we get to our stitch marker, which is that first stitch of this round, right? To finish off this round, we are going to put a final stitch through that stitch where the marker is in, just to close off this round and to mark our first stitch of the next round. So unclip your marker and reclip it on that loop. And now we have 8 loops because we had 4, we increased them all, we doubled up, so now we have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now you're going to make 2 regular rounds of 8 stitches. So that's very easy, just singles. We're just going to do this round and around twice. Okay. Seven and 8. And then we are back at our stitch marker again. So we're going to put a last stitch through that stitch to mark the first stitch of the next round and to finish off this round. Unclip and reclip. And there. That was our first round of 8 stitches. We want to do this one more time, but what I always do, because I get confused really easily and I always forget, did I do 1 round or 8 or 2 or 3? It becomes especially confusing when you have a lot of rounds to do later, right? So I always put one of my bands to the side after finishing 1 round. 1. So I know I did 1 round of 8 already. Okay, so we're going to do our second round of 8 now. Just single stitches. Seven and 8. There we go. That was my second round of 8 stitches, and that was all that I needed to do. And you finish off the round by putting your last stitch through the marked one and then unclip and reclip there. So we have 8 stitches. There we go. And now this is actually the head already. If you want to stuff it, you can put some stuffing in here or later, whatever you prefer, of course. I'm not going to stuff mine. And now we are going to decrease everything. So we're going from 8 to 4. Okay, now decreasing means that you grab the front part of the next stitch and the back part of the stitch after that and sew these stitches together. So we're sewing 2 stitches into 1 like that. Okay, and we're going to do that with the next one as well and the next 2 ones as well, so that we're left with 4 stitches only, which is the neck of our little gummy bear. It's really finicky, as I said, finicky, 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 because it's tiny, tiny, tiny. And I bet you all have more nimble fingers than I do. Stitch these together, and the last 2, we're going to stitch these together as well. And the last one, come here you. It's even finicky for me. The last one is actually the one where your stitch marker is in, okay? So that's a little bit different for this round. Stitch these together as well. I am struggling. There we go. Now this closes up, so you need to keep a good eye on what you're doing. Open it up a little bit. Don't yank too hard, because then the neck will be all like Jabba the Hutt. We don't want that. Okay, now unclip and reclip. There. because that counts as the first stitch for the next round already. Okay, it was a little bit different this round. Now we are going to increase everything again until we have 8 stitches. Now we already have a stitch in this first loop here, so we're going to pick up both parts of that loop now. It's the one that we decreased, but now we're going to pick up both of the loops and we're going to increase. So put the body next to the stitch we already have here where our marker is on. Go to the next stitch and also put 2 stitches through that. That's 1. And 2. Move over. Keep a good eye on what you're doing. It is small, so you have to pay attention so you don't pick up the wrong stitches. Put 2 through here. Oh, that's 2. And the last one. This one over here. We're also going to put 2 stitches through there. That's 1 and 2. And of course, then we get to our stitch marker again. So to finish off the round, we are putting our last stitch through there. Okay. Unclip and reclip. And if we count our stitches now, we should have 8 stitches. Okay. 8 stitches, yay. I did that correct. What we're going to do now is do 4 rounds of 8 stitches. So this is where me putting the bands on the table comes from, right? Because I kept losing count otherwise. So we're going to do 4 rounds of 8. We already have the first one. Just single stitches. Just go round and round until you have done 4 of these. Okay. Seven, and here is number 8. Oh, pick up the right bands. Come here, you. There, the last one goes in the marked stitch again. There, unclip and reclip, and that was my first round of 8 stitches. So 1, and I want to have 4. I want to do 4 rounds of 8 stitches, okay? I think you got it from here, so make sure that you don't forget to put your stitches on there. I will fast forward, so just press pause until you're caught up, right? Unclip, reclip, and put a band here. That's 2. And that was my 4th round of 8 stitches. There we are. Okay, we're all caught up. Now we are going to close up our little gummy bear. It looks like a little peanut, right? We're going to close it up. So we're going to decrease all. That's 4. And the last stitch that we're going to be making will be a slip knot, okay? But we're going to decrease all of the stitches. So we have our first stitch made already. So the next one will be a decrease. Grab the back end of the next stitch and the front, depends on how you look at it, of the next. Sew these stitches together. Sorry, I needed to sniff. And the next one will be a decrease as well, our second one. And the next one is a decrease as well, the third. There. And the last that will also go in our marked stitch is a decrease as well. I'm going to unclip this now, but we're going to close up the bottom of our teddy bear. So you're going to pull through your band. You're going to make a slip knot. Whoops, let me get into frame so you can actually see what I'm doing. Pull it through all 3 loops. Close it up. And pull the front through the back end. Give it a little tug. Don't pull too hard. Don't want it snapping our bands. To close it up, right? Now it has a little bit of a pointy butt when you do it like this, you see? Our little peanut. No ears, no paws, no nothing. But what we're going to do is hide this little slip knot part in the middle of our teddy bear, right? So you're just going to stick your hook through, come out the butt, and grab that loose loop over there and carefully take it to the inside of your gummy bear. Now I like to pull this a little bit harder as I actually have to flatten out the bottom of the gummy bear a little bit, right? So it doesn't have such a pointy butt. Okay, so just work it a little bit like that. Okay, that's it. Our little peanut over here is the body of our gummy bear. Okay, next comes the nose and the paws. Okay, so for the nose and paws, as I said, you can prepare these little things beforehand because those actually make up the nose and paws, and we are going to sew these in separately, okay? But I'm going to show you how you can do it just sewing it into place and making the little quadruple cap band while we're sewing. So first we're going to have to choose the spot where we're going to have to place our nose. Now I want to grab 2 loops. In the middle of the face a little bit, of course, the head, right? And I feel like the bands here don't lie completely the way I want to. So just pick a side of the little peanut that you have which suits your needs. And just remember, if you don't like the placement at all at first, just take it out and choose another spot, right? It's all part of the creative process, as they say, I think. I think that this will be a right spot. Okay, so you're just going to put your hook through, grab 2 loops. Let me see. I feel like I had 3 loops there. Just grab 2 of the loops like that. Put them on your hooks, scoot them over a little bit. Then you're going to grab 2 bands, make your quadruple cap band at the tip of your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a quadruple cap band, a little clump of bands we have. And then we're grabbing another band, put it on the tip of our hook and try to slide all these bands on that band that we're holding. Just take your time for it. You will fail at this, I bet. At least I did about 1,000,000 times with making all these gummy bears that I had. Don't worry. All part of being creative is failing sometimes. Okay, so just slide it over to the middle a little bit, as I said at the very beginning. And now we're going to pull that end of the band under the 2 loops that we have on our hook. Then we're just going to close it up on the other end of the clump of our bands. And then we're making a slip knot. So just pull that end through the back end and pull it tight. I do want you to pull this tight, but be careful your band doesn't snap. It has happened to me. It might happen to you as well. Don't worry about it. We'll just have to try again then. And there is our nose. Now it looks like it has a little bit of a sniffle down here. So let's hide that end of the slip knot inside our bear. So just do the same thing that we did with the butt of the bear. You just go in and go in with your hook and come out right next to that little loop of the slip knot. Put it on your hook and gently wiggle it to the inside of the bear, hiding it like that. So there we have a nose. That's it, and we're going to do the same thing with all 4 of the paws. So, well, since we have the nose in the middle here, make sure that you're looking right at it when you choose the place for your paws. I think the next one I'm going to make here. I think that this is a good spot for my paw. Now, I have also prepared some of these, of course, and if you have done that, the only thing that you have to do is just put one end of the loops on your hook like that, pull it through your gummy bear, close it up and make your slip knot. Okay, pull it tight, don't pull too hard, we don't want snapping bands, like that. Okay, we have our first paw made, and we go in to the bear, come out somewhere right next to the paw, and hide the loop inside our gummy bear. There. That's one little paw. Oh, poor thing. Okay, now the next one, let me choose a spot for that. I feel like this is a bit too much to the left and that is a bit too much to the right. So I'm going to pick up one loop here. This one, let me fiddle a little bit there, and one loop over here. Not too high, the paws don't want to be in the neck. There. I think that might even it out nicely. Otherwise, I'm going to have to try again. Let me see. And grab the other end of the loop and make our slip knot like that. I won't pull it now, just to check the placement. What do we think? I think that's okay, right? Okay, make my slip knot, let go, and hide that band in the middle of the bear again. There. Oh, at least it has 2 paws now. Now we're going to choose some spots at the bottom, right beneath the other ones. Let me see which bands I'm going to grab. I feel like I have to pick up one loop here and one loop here to make sure that it's under the front paws. There. Okay, put it on my hook. Make our slip knot. So. There. Is that okay? I think it will be when we pull it tight. So there we go. Very much of this is just winging it and going by sides, right? I think that's the right place. Okay, so stick your hook in, grab the loose loop and hide it inside the bear. Now the last one. Let me see. I'm going to do the same thing again. Pick up one loop here and one loop here. I think that will come out nicely. There. Let me do this one in place, so to speak. Okay, so you go around 4 times, make a quadruple cap band, grab a separate band, put all the loops on your hook carefully, that it doesn't pop off. Move it over with your fingers to the middle a little bit, pull it through, same as we've been doing, and make your slip knot. So you can do it whatever way you prefer. I'm not pulling it tight just yet. It looks a bit to the left, but I think if we pull it tight, it will be okay. All these bears look slightly different anyway. Don't know what this looks like without the ears. Let me see. Let's hide the loop in the middle again. And there we go. Okay. Now we can do the ears. Now for the ears. There are several ways these can be made, and mine are a little bit different from those of Brielle because of communication issues on YouTube. You can't really chat that well over there, so please forgive me for that, okay? First, we're going to have to choose our place. Now make sure you're looking at the front of your bear, of course, and I want my ears to be a little bit over here and over there, right? We're just going to stitch these in place. So what I'm going to do is turn my bear sideways, and I want to make 4 stitches going around. So I think that this is a nice circle that I can choose to do that. And over here, kind of in the same place. Now don't worry if your ears are a little bit askew or whatever, as you can see here. Mine are all also looking just a little bit different. Let's just call it character, okay? So we are going to just put our hook through one of the circles that you chose and pick 2 loops. I am going to pick these here. And we're going to make a stitch over here. Just a regular stitch. Like that. See, I'm working with this circle over here. Then I'm going to go 1/4 of the circle just about and pick up 2 other loops. If I can grab a hold of something here. Just wing it, guys. Just do it by sight and by feeling. You're creative enough for that, otherwise you wouldn't be here. Okay, so we're going to stitch these 2 stitches together. Now we're going to scooch over a little bit again. Let me grab 2 loops over here for my next. Wait, that's just 1. For my next stitch, we're going to make 4 stitches, as I said. Okay, so that's my 3rd. And then our 4th one, let me grab 2 loops a little bit down here. Whatever you can grab there. Make our 4th stitch. And for our 5th stitch, let me see what we're doing. This is the 4th stitch I have on my hook right now. 3, 2, 1. This is our 1st stitch, and this is the back end of that 1st stitch, right? And I want to sew that back end in as well, so it doesn't flop around up here and up on the side of the ear. Okay, so what I'm going to do is grab 1 loop in that circle down here. Just grab whatever you can, just make sure that it's 1 loop, and grab that loose loop of that 1st stitch. Like so. We just do that to secure it. Okay? And just make, oops, shot that one to the moon. The man in the moon has such colorful bands to work with. Oh, shot that one to the moon as well. Make your regular stitch, okay? There. So we have made 5 stitches. Now it looks like a little bit of a clump up here, but what we're going to do now, let me open it up a little bit. Okay, so we have our stitches here. See them? And what I'm going to do now, I'm now at the top of the ear, so to speak. I'm just going to cross over to a stitch down here. But let me go. To a stitch down here. This one, picking that one up, and I'm making a slip knot there. Just a regular slip knot. So you pull your band through all 3 loops, close it up, make a slip knot. Pull it tight. There we go. Now you can always wiggle a bit with the ear to give it a little bit more of a pointy shape or a round shape, whatever you want to. Of course, we're going to have to hide, unless you want to keep the little fluffy ear, of course, but I'm going to have to hide that. So stick your hook through the middle of your bear and pull that slip knot down, like so. Let me pull it a little bit tighter because I saw it come up a bit. There. Well, we have 1 ear, and now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So let me see, I think I'm going to work with this circle down here. I bet that the ear will be a little bit lower than on this side, but I don't really mind it that much, do you? Okay, so grab 2 loops up here. I think I have the cap band, you see, because it's straight. So maybe it will be a little bit higher up anyway. And I'm going to make 4 stitches going round again. So that is 1. Let me scooch over and grab 2 loops down here. Oop, Shot that one to the moon as well. That's 2. Grab one down here. I think that's a good spot for my 3rd stitch. Three. And scooch over a little bit again, somewhere here, I think, between these. I will put my 4th stitch there. And then for our 5th stitch, we want to stitch in that loose part of our 1st stitch again, right? So just pick up one of the loops that you can somewhere. I don't know. Which one shall I grab? I want to grab this one. It's a little bit tight, but I think that that is a good spot. So let me grab it. Almost. Yes, got it. Okay, grab that one and grab this one. Make our stitch. There. Now we've made 4 stitches in the round again. Just a little clump of stitches, right? And now I'm going to go to the other side of the 4 that I made. Let me see. I'm going to pick up this stitch down here. I think that's a good spot. And we're going to make a slip knot. Like that. Pull it tight. And stick your hook through the middle of the bear. And as I said before, if you don't like the placement, just take it out and try again. I've made some wonky bears. Oh my goodness. There. Well, see, it is not exactly in the middle, but I think that it is cute anyway. As I said, it's a very forgiving pattern. Oh, sorry for pulling on your neck, bear. And there we have it. The super tiny, fiddly and cute mini gummy bear by Basketballooms. Well, that was it for today, my gummy bears. I hope you all had fun with this extra tutorial and making this little cutie here. And I can't wait to see all the different colors you will all come up with. Although I fear for my dentist bill, because with all these gummy bears here, I feel like candy all the time. Now, when you have made your gummy bears and you post them on the socials, please don't forget to tag me and Basketballooms in the pictures and captions. And use the hashtags you see on screen right now so we can see them too. Despite her not being on the socials, I'll make sure she gets to see them too, okay? I'll post these tags in the box below as well as usual, of course. If you like this video, please let me know by hitting the thumbs up and by subscribing to my channel with the button you see right here. And come find me on Instagram and Facebook too for more of my content and creations. You'll find the link to those in the description box below as well. I often give sneak peeks up there of upcoming designs and tutorials, so stay tuned for that. And if you have any questions or comments, or if you've made a design of your own you want me to make a tutorial for, please feel free to message me here on Messenger or on Instagram, anywhere you can find me. Feel free to send me a private message too if you want to. Don't be shy, really, you're always welcome with me. Now, stay tuned, turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything. Stay colorful, stay creative, and most of all, stay loony. That's all, folks.